Hi guys, greetings of the day. I Vijay Tavardhan welcome you to my YouTube channel for learning a subject called as Fluid Power Engineering for 5th semester and Fluid Power Systems for 7th semester as per VTU syllabus. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, kindly subscribe. Also click on the bell icon to receive the latest lectures as and when it is uploaded in my YouTube channel. Now let's start the session number 13, which is based on the axial pumps. Now, in the previous session, we had a discussion of the piston pumps. In the piston pumps, we had a axial and the radial piston pumps. The session starts with the axial piston pumps. In axial piston pumps, the number of piston reciprocates and their axes are always parallel to the axis of the cylinder block, which you can observe in the figure which is shown. Then coming to what is called as radial piston pumps, in radial piston pumps, as the name itself indicates, the axes of the reciprocating pistons are always perpendicular to the axis of housing cylinder and also the axis laying on the single horizontal plane, which is as shown in the figure, which can be observed here. Then coming to the axial piston pumps, inline and radial method, that is, all the axial piston pumps are further classified based on the orientation of the axis of the cylindrical based on the orientation of the axis of the cylindrical block and the axis of the driver. Based on this, we have two types. They are called as inline piston pumps and the bent axis piston pumps. Now let us understand about the same. Now, what is called as inline piston pumps? The inline piston pumps have the axis of the cylinder and the driver or collinear or in the line, which you can observe in the figure number A, which is as shown here. In the same fashion, the bent axis piston pumps have the axis of the cylinder block and the driver, which is inclined to each other, which you can see in the figure number B. Then in such of the pumps, either it is a cylindrical block or a swash plate which is going to be rotated, and the rotation of either of them takes place between the pistons and it has to rotate to and fro motion. And the important parts of the axial piston pumps are which is shown here, that is the exploded view. So one by one, that is called as the port plate, then the cylinder block and the piston with the shoes, shoe plate, swash plate and the driver plate. And the exploded view you can see here. Then coming to the next arrangement, the manual geometrical arrangement of the main parts of the inline axial piston pumps, which you can see in this figure over here, and the swash plate of the inline pump may be either a fixed or rotating. Now, if you are going to have a fixed swash plate, then it is called as fixed cam plate. And if the rotating swash plate is there, then we call it as a wobble plate. In case of a fixed plate, the cylindrical block is made to rotate. The pistons, piston shoe and the shoe plate all rotate again as the fixed swash plate, and the two arrangements you can see in the following figures. The swash plate is called as the cam plate provided they have a sloping surfaces which is observed in the figure and acts like a cam over there. As the cylinder block rotates, the piston shoes follows the surface of the swash plate. Since the swash plate is at an angle to the axis of the driving shaft or the axis of the piston has to reciprocate within the cylinder bore. Oil is drawn during the first half of the rotation and delivered through the second half of the rotation of the cylinder block through the inlet and outlet ports of the port plate. Then coming to the continuation of the axial piston pumps, we will be having one more type of that is called as wobble piston pump, which is also called as wobble plate axial piston pump. And now you can see it is also abbreviated as APP. Now the swash plate incline axial pump has its swash plate rotating and is called as the wobble plate. The axial piston pump and the wobble plate is connected to the driving shaft, and the cylindrical block and the shoe plate are going to be fixed in this case, but it is opposite in the previous case what we have discussed, that is called as the fixed plate. Now, how does this work? Let us understand. The driver rotates the swash plate and the shoe plate fixed on that moves the piston in and out, thus reciprocating inside the bores of the cylinder. The arrangement of the various parts of the wobble plate axial pump is shown in this figure over here. And this wobble plate is also referred as a rotating cam plate since the angle of the wobble plate is fixed and the displacement is also fixed. Now, now, the fixed cam plate and a rotating plate axial piston pumps are fixed displacement pumps. Now we will have another concept that is called as variable axial piston displacement pumps. And the theoretical displacement of an axial piston pump of either fixed cam plate or a rotating plate is given by Vd is equal to N into AP into dB into tan theta, or we can call that the VD, that is the volumetric discharge, is directly proportional to theta for a given axial pump, because as the theta increases or decreases, the VD increases or decreases. If there is a mechanism with which the theta can be varied, then such axial piston pumps will be called as variable displacement piston pump. Now, out of which we have two types. One is called as swash plate design and another one is called as bent axis. Now, what is called a swash plate design? Let us understand about that. The swash plate design has a fixed swash plate with a hole larger than the diameter of the driving shaft, which is connected to the cylinder block containing the pistons in the bores. A variation of angle of swash plate and its influence on the discharge is observed in the figure over here. That is, in the next slide I'm going to show you that the influence, how it is going to make it, that is influence of the swash plate on the volumetric displacement. You can see in the figure A, and this is the figure number B. Now it can be observed that the larger the swash plate angle, larger will be the displacement, with the limitation smaller, the smaller displacement for the smaller swash plate angle, and the zero displacement for the zero angle of inclination. The maximum angle of inclination depends on the diameter of the hole made in the swash plate. Since the swash plate angle can be varied, with which varies the displacement. This is a variable displacement axial piston pump. However, the maximum angle is generally limited to 17.5 degree for various design consideration. Then coming to the bent axis piston pump. The other type of variable displacement axial piston pumps is called as bent axis type of piston pump. In this case, the cylinder block rotate with the drive shaft but at an offset angle, which you can observe in the figure number A is a pictorial representation and a schematic representation is shown in the figure number B. Now, the piston rods are attached to the drive shaft flange by ball joints and are forced in and out of their bores as the distance between the drive shaft, flange and the cylinder is going to be varied. And a universal link keys and the cylinder block to the drive shaft to maintain the alignment and to assure that they turn together. The link does not transmit force except to accelerate and decelerate the cylinder block and to overcome resistance of the block revolving in the oil filled housing. And the volumetric displacement of the pump bent axis piston pump is also similar to that of the swash plate piston pump. And thanks for your patience listening to the session. The time allotted for the session is ending, so we are stopping the session over here. And if you have any sort of doubts, feel free to use the comment section for further discussion. I will answer all your questions related to the topics which is covered in the session. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Signing off, Vijay Tavardhan.